Hello friends, welcome to Global Online University. This is our 11th mock test for NTA, UGC NET and SET examination. This test is having 50 questions and for 100 marks. Each question carries 2 marks. Friends, till your examination, we will provide you 20 mock tests and rules are simple. Please pause the video when a question appears on the screen and try to answer the question and then you can check the correct answer. Friends, we have also released our schedule for mock test series every Wednesday and Sunday. We are providing mock tests. On Wednesday it will be live on 6 p.m. and on Sunday it will be live on 10 a.m. Please go through this timetable. You will get then for all these mock test series you have to enroll on our Global Online University website, and I assure you these mock tests will boost your preparation and also bring success in your examination. And all these mock tests cost at just rupees 99. So let us start. The type of sampling where each person in population has equal chance of being selected is option A probability sampling, option B non-probability sampling, option C judgment sampling, option D none of the above. Friends, here all the people in the population are having equal chance of being selected. For example, lottery method. Then which is the right answer is here option A probability sampling is correct answer. And probability sampling means here each person in the population is having equal chance of being selected the sample size. Next question. Control groups and experimental groups are exactly the same except for dependent variable, independent variable, extraneous variable, replication variable. Friends, here the right answer is option B independent variable. Independent variable become the cause of another variable. It is not a dependent, it is independent of the other variables and it is manipulated by the researcher. I hope you got the answer. Now we will see the next question. Friends, the next question is hypothesis cannot be stated in. I think you have some knowledge about the hypothesis testing. It cannot be stated in null and question form terms. No, it can be tested. Declarative terms, it can be stated. General terms, yeah, but hypothesis cannot be stated in a general way. It is related to some principles. So here the right answer is option C general terms. Yeah, it is the right answer. We will move to the question. We will see some information about hypothesis. Hypothesis can be tested various tests depending upon the objectives of the research. And hypothesis testing means when we go for the hypothesis testing, either we accept the hypothesis or we reject the hypothesis. Let us move to the next. Which of the following is classified in the category of developmental research? Friends, this question is related to developmental research. And which of the following is classified in the developmental research? Option A philosophical research, action research, descriptive research. Friends, I think you know this answer. All these three researches are classification of developmental research. So here the right answer is option D, all of the above. Friends, development research is defined as it is the systematic study of designing, developing and also evaluating instructional programs, processes and also products. I hope you got this answer. Let us move to the next question. Match the following. Here list 1 and list 2. In list 1 some research types are there: experimental, historical, case study, D ethnography. List 2 criticism, control, interpretive, intensive and institutive. Friends, remember some points about experimental research. Yeah, in experimental research, a researcher is having control over the variables. So, here experimental is related to control. And historical research, in historical research, a researcher will criticism, then B, historical is criticism. Then in case study is related to intensive, then ethnography, option 3 interpretive. So here the right answer is option D, experimental, control, historical, criticism, case study, intensive, and ethnography, interpretative. I hope you got this answer. Please note all these points. And the question is a grand theory. Option A explains interrelationship among concepts. Option B is highly abstract. Option C broad explanation of phenomena in a discipline. D all of the above. Friends, here the right answer is option C. A grand theory is related to broad explanation of phenomenon in a discipline. Grand theory, it is a term given by the C. Wright Mills. He is an American socialist, and grand theory refers to the form of highly abstract theorizing in which the formal organization and arrangement of concepts takes priority over understanding the social reality. In Wright Mills' use, a grand theory is more or less separate from concrete concerns of our everyday life. So the next question is, when two or more successive footnotes refer to the same work, which one of the following is used? Option A IBID, option B ET.AL, option C OP.CIT, option D IOC.CIT. Friends, here the right answer is option A IBID. Friends, IBID stands for in the same place. When we are referencing the same source but in different pages, that time we follow IBID with a comma and the new page number. The next question is, what is encyclopedia edited content called as? Option A primary source, option B infinite source, option C continuous source, option D secondary source. Primary source are the data collected by investigator. These data are known as the first hand data. And infinite source describes that things that are endless, for example universe. Continuous source and secondary sources, the data which is collected by someone else, and if we refer those data, then that source is known as the secondary source. Then friends, here the right answer is encyclopedia edited content is called continuous series. So option C is the right answer. Encyclopedia is a reference work and it provides summaries for knowledge either from all the branches or from a particular field. The next question is, a technique that might be used by an active listener is to, who is active listener? Who is understanding the given information. He is known as the active listener. And here options are paraphrase the speaker's meaning, B express concern, option C explain the speaker's meaning, option D a viewpoint when in conversation. Friends, here the right answer is paraphrase the speaker's meaning. Paraphrase means a receiver is understanding the information and he is trying to respond to it. So option A is the right answer. I think you got the correct answer. The next question is, which of the following terms is closely related to feedback? What do we mean by feedback? When a receiver becomes encoder, it means he is passing or he is responding to the sender's information, is known as the feedback. For example, whenever a teacher asks questions, if you answer means you are giving a feedback. Whenever or when you see this lecture you will put your comments in the comment box. It is known as the feedback, and feedback is okay. Feedback is related to option A brainstorming, option B heuristics, option C cybernetics, option D none of the above. Friends, here the right answer is option C cybernetics. We'll see some more information about cybernetics. Cybernetics refers to tradition of complex systems where the interacting elements influencing on each other. Or in cybernetic tradition, it is a tradition communication is seen as a system of processing information, feedback and control. Let us go to the next question. The next question is paraphrasing is a skill that is absolutely necessary to effective. Option A listening, option B hearing, option C speaking, option D none of the above. Friends, paraphrasing, we discussed it already. It is a skill related to listening. Here a student will try to understand the lecture given by the sender. So the right answer is option A listening. The next question is, or paraphrasing is repeating in your words. It is a powerful means to further the understanding of the other person and yourself. I hope you got this. Communication becomes circular when option A the decoder becomes an encoder, option B the feedback is absent, option C source is credible, option D the channel is clear. Friends, circular communication, when a sender will give feedback, it is known as the communication is circular, means the decoder has to become encoder. When a decoder is giving message, or when a receiver is passing the message, it means he is encoding the message. Before that he was receiver, he was decoder, but now to give feedback he is encoding the message. So the right answer is option A, the decoder becomes an encoder. You can remember this picture here: encoder, message, decoder, then message. Encoder means sender encodes the message and send to the receiver. Here receiver decodes the message, and to pass again information he will become encoder. So I hope you knew this. Let us go to the next question. Is, according to Mehrabian, the respective contributions of words, tone of voice, body language in overall communication are option A 38%, 7% and 55%, option B 7%, 38% and 55%, option C 55%, 38% and 7%, option D none of the above. Friends, according to Mehrabian, the words, tone of voice and body language in overall communication are: words constitute 7%, tone of voice constitute 38% and body language constitute 55%. So B is the right answer here. I hope you knew this answer. Let us go to the some more information on Mehrabian. Please remember this picture here: spoken words 7%, voice 38%, then body language 55%. This model is given by Professor Albert Mehrabian. Let us go to the next question. If a student raises a hand to speak in a class, the person is using option A modifier, option B emblem, option C regulator, option D display. When a student raises his hand is known as the non-verbal communication, so it is known as the emblem. Option B is right answer. Next, emblems are non-verbal signals that can generally translated into words. Here non-verbal signals, when a student stand up or any raises his hand, these signals are Directly transferring into words means when a student raises his hand, a teacher will come to know, yeah, this student is know the answer. In this way, he uses emblems. This process is known as the emblem. So the next question is, which of the following steps would you consider first for an effective communication? Friends, in the process of effective communication, which is the first step you consider? Here the options are: option A, select the channel of communication; option B, plan the evaluation procedure; option C, specify the objectives of communication; option D, identify various media for communication. Friends, channel and planning and media are the further steps. So the first steps will be, first we should means we should, or in the process of effective communication, we should specify the objectives. Then we can go for the channel, plan and media. So here the right answer is option C, specify the objectives of communication. Remember this, in your upcoming examination a question may come from here. And steps in developing effective communication. Friends, please remember all these steps in a sequence. Identify target audience, then determine the objectives, design communications, select channels, establish budget, decide on media, then measure results. These are the steps involving in the effective communication. Please note all these points. Let us move to the next question. When we try to organize details in our minds, we are seeking to, friends, when we are organizing the information in our mind, what we are going to produce? Option A, produce new ideas in our mind. Option B, process complex information and then categorize it. Option C, categorize difficult and easy pieces of information. Option D, process simple information and categorize. Friends, which is the right answer here? When we are organizing information, it means we are going to categorize the difficult and easy pieces of information. We are dividing the information into simple terms and difficult terms. After that, we are going to produce an idea. So here the right answer is option B, process complex information and then categorize it. Then after that we are going to divide the data into difficult and simple manner. Then we produce a idea. So here the right answer is option B, process complex information and then categorize it. EBCDIC stands for: option A, extended binary coded decimal interchange code; option B, extended bit code decimal interchange code; option C, extended bit case decimal interchange code; option D, extended binary case decimal interchange code. Friends, here the right answer is option D, extended binary case decimal interchange code. I hope you got this answer. Please remember this. The next question is, EBCDIC, it stands for extended binary coded decimal interchange code, and it is an 8-bit character encoding used on IBM frames. Now we move to the next question. Which of the following will be required to produce high quality graphics? Friends, option A, RGB monitor; option B, plotter; option C, inkjet printer; option D, laser printer. Friends, here the right answer is option B, plotter. A plotter is a computer hardware device. It is also like a printer, and this plotter is used to print vector graphics, that is also in very high quality. I hope you got this. The next question. Which satellite channel uses the ad line "Knowing is everything"? Friends, if you watch the BBC World News channel, you will come about this "Knowing is everything." This is the ad line used by BBC World. So the right answer is BBC Cable. Now the next question is, To locate a data item from storage, to locate the data from storage is called option A field, option B field, option C database, option D page. Friends, locate a data from item for storage is known as the page. Option D is the right answer. I hope you got the answer. Now page describes the process of a software program, script or hardware device to retrieve the data and to move from one folder to another folder and to display it. I hope you got this. Next question. The hexadecimal number system consists of the symbols option A 0 to 7, option B 0 to 9 and A to F, option C 0 to 7 and A to F, option D none of the above. Friends, hexadecimal number system, it includes 0 to 9 numbers and also from A to F alphabet. So here the right answer is option B, means hexadecimal. Hexa means here 16 is the base, so 0 to 9 numbers and A to F capital is known as the hexadecimal number system. Here some more information on the hexadecimal number system. Here the base is 16 symbols are there in hexadecimal number system, and those symbols are numbers starting from 0 to 9 and alphabets from A to F. Let us go to the next question. Which of the following terms can be used in the context of education through CDs? Friends, here the options are option A synchronous, option B asynchronous, option C both A and B, and option D none of the above. Friends, here the right answer is option B asynchronous. So friends, I hope you knew this answer. And asynchronous learning is also it called locational independent learning, and it is completely opposite to the synchronous learning. Synchronous learning means where students are studying in the classroom by listening the lecture, and in asynchronous learning students will study through the online lectures by email, content, chat rooms, by YouTube channels, etc. And here the both sender and receiver, they can read the message, they can respond to the message. And in asynchronous learning, textbook will be replaced by the CD-ROM, and the lecture notes on the CD and internet are interactive with the number of self tests also. So let us go to the next question. I hope you understood this clearly. Here the question is, which of the following open source e-learning platform has been developed by IIT Kanpur? Friends, the IIT Kanpur has developed e-learning platform. The name of that e-learning platform is option A eGnan, option B eSaraswati, option C Brahaspati, and option D none of the above. Friends, here the right answer is option C Brahaspati. And Brahaspati, it is a virtual classroom, it is a software, and it is developed by IIT Kanpur. It is an open platform for learning, and the administrator is the main authority of the Brahaspati. So I hope you understood this. Let us move to the next question. Which of the following can be considered as the best example of primary air pollutants? Option A carbon dioxide released from burning of coal, option B sulfur trioxide, option C ozone produced in photochemical smog, option D carbon dioxide released through photosynthesis. Friends, here the right answer is option A carbon dioxide released from burning of coal. I hope you got this. Friends, in air pollution, air pollutants we can divide into primary air pollutants and secondary air pollutants. Air pollution means presence of materials in there which are harmful to the human beings, and primary air pollutants are suspended particulate matter, oxides of carbon, hydrocarbons, sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, chlorofluorocarbons, lead. And in secondary air pollutants, sulfur trioxide, smog, sulfurous or London smog, photochemical smog, and also ground level ozone. Please remember all these points The question may come from here. And the next question is friends, the next question is IUCN stands for option A, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Option B, Indian Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Integrated Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. None of the above. Friends, here the right answer is option A, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Friends, IUCN's headquarters is located in Gland in Switzerland. CEO is Gretel Aguilar and founder Julian Huxley, and IUCN founded on 5th October 1948. It is an international organization. I hope you got all these points. Now we'll move to the next question. Which country is the largest producer of HCQ, accounting for nearly 70% of annual global production? Option A, China. Option B, India. Option C, Brazil. Option D, Japan. HCQ stands for hydroxychloroquine. Friends, India is the largest producer of the HCQ. Please remember this. And Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, had recommended HCQ to be used as a preventive medication for persons in high risk of COVID-19. Please remember this. In the upcoming examination, this question may come. How many biological hotspots are located in India? Friends, there are 4 biological hotspots are located in India. India holds 4 biodiversity hotspots, and those are: one is Himalayas, second one is Western Ghats, third one is Indo-Burma region, and the fourth one is Sundaland. Includes Nicobar group of islands. I hope you knew this. The next question is, with the help of photosynthesis, plants convert solar energy into option A, chemical energy, option B, mechanical energy, option C, kinetic energy, option D, nuclear energy. Friends, here the right answer is option A, chemical energy. Photosynthesis, by looking at this picture, you can come to know photosynthesis is a process used by plants or other organisms to convert light energy into chemical energy, and this chemical energy will be stored in the form of carbohydrate molecules. I hope you got information about photosynthesis. Now we'll move to the next question. Which of the following is a major pollutant causing acid rain? Option A, carbon dioxide. Option B, sulfur dioxide. Option C, hydrogen peroxide. Option D, carbon monoxide. Acid rain is caused by chemical reactions like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide. Friends, so here the right answer for this question is option B, sulfur dioxide. I hope you got. And acid rain is caused by a chemical reaction. I already explained. And the compounds are like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides. If these substances can rise very high into the atmosphere, and where they will mix and react with the oxygen, water, and with the other chemicals, then these acidic pollutants are known as the acid rain. I think you got this. The next question is, Stockholm Convention is a global treaty to protect environment and human health from option A, greenhouse gases, option B, persistent organic pollutants, option C, hospital acquired infections, option D, none of the above. Friends, if you have read about the Stockholm Convention, and this question is very easy for you, and here the right answer is option B, persistent organic pollutants. Let us see some information about Stockholm Convention. Stockholm Convention is the type of international environmental treaty. The main aim of Stockholm Convention is to eliminate or restrict the production and use of persistent organic pollutants. And there are 152 signatories are there. And Stockholm Convention, it is signed on 22 May 2001, and it is effective from 17 May 2004. The location is Stockholm, and languages of Stockholm Convention are Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish. Please remember all these points. Let us move to the next question. Friends, the next question is the Right to Education Act came into force in the year of option A 2008, option B 2009, option C 2010, and option D none of the above. Friends, the right answer is option C 2010. The Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act, which is known as RTA Act. It is the Act of Parliament of India enacted on 4th August 2009, and it came into the force on 1st April 2010. It is under the article of 21A of the Indian Constitution. India became one of the 135th countries to make education a fundamental right of every child. I hope you knew this, all this information. Please remember this. And the next question is, consider the following statements. Assertion, rights and duties are the two sides of the same coin. Yeah, it is right. Reason, it is not the duty of the state to maintain the rights of the citizens. Friends, this is wrong, because it is the duty of the state to maintain the rights of the citizens. So here the right answer is option C. Assertion is right and reason is false. The next question is, and friends, here fundamental rights and fundamental duties are there. Fundamental rights are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. Please remember all these fundamental rights and their articles, and also here some fundamental duties also are there. Please go through these fundamental duties, and a question may arise from fundamental rights and articles. Please remember all these articles and fundamental rights. Now we move to the next question. Again, match the following. Here list 1 is showing us articles of constitution, list 2 is showing us subject. Option A article 54, option B article 75, option C article 155, option D article 164. Here subjects are president's election, prime minister appointment, appointment of governor, appointment of chief minister. Friends, here the right answer is option C. It means article 54 is related to president's election, and article 75 is related to prime minister's appointment. Article 155 is related to appointment of governor. Article 164 is related to appointment of chief minister. Please remember all these points. Here are some articles and subjects. Article 280 related to Finance Commission, Article 324 related to Election Commission, Article 323 related to Administrative Tribunals, Article 315 related to UPSC, Article 352 related to National Emergency, Article 356 related to State Emergency, Article 360 related to Financial Emergency. In India, a political party is recognized as a national or regional party by the option A, the President of India, option B, the Election Commission of India, option C, the Law Ministry in consultation with the Law Commission of India, option D, the Union Parliament in consultation with the state legislature. Friends, the right answer is option B, the Election Commission of India. Please remember this. And here is some more information related to Election Commission of India. This is the logo of Election Commission of India, and Election Commission of India is formed on 25 January 1950, and 25 January we are celebrating as a National Voters Day, and headquarters is located in New Delhi. Now we will move to the next question. Friends, the next question is, here list 1 and list 2 are there. We have to match the correct answer. List 1 is showing various institutes, and list 2 is showing us locations. Option A, National Council of Rural Institute. Option B, Indian Council of Historical Research. Option C, Indian Council of Philosophical Research. Option D, Indian Institute of Advanced Study. And locations are New Delhi, Hyderabad, Shimla, Bangalore. Friends, the right answer is option A. It means National Council of Rural Institutes is located at Hyderabad, and Indian Council of Historical Research is located in Bangalore. Indian Council of Philosophical Research is located in New Delhi. Indian Institute of Advanced Study is located in Shimla. Please remember all these points. Now we move to the next question. The title of Yashpal Committee report is Friends, the title of Yashpal Committee report in 1993 is option A ICT in teacher education, option B learning without burden, option C learning through broadcasting, and option D none of the above. Friends, here the right answer for this question is option B learning without burden. Friends, Yashpal Committee 1992-93, the Ministry of MHRD, Government of India set up National Advisory Committee with Yashpal as a chairman to go into the issue of overburdening of the school children. And the main title of this Yashpal Committee was Shiksha Bina Boj Ke, learning without burden. I hope you understood this. Now we will move to the next question. Number 1. The idea of 4 pillars of education was suggested by option A UNICEF, option B UGC, option C NCTA, option D UNESCO. Friends, here the right answer is option D UNESCO. Friends, let us see some more information related to UNESCO. UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. UNESCO has proposed declaration of 4 pillars of education, and these 4 pillars are, please remember all these 4 pillars of the education. First one is learning to know, second one learning to do, third one learning to live together, fourth one learning to be. Friends, these are the 4 pillars of education proposed by the UNESCO. I hope you understood this. Now we will go to the next question. Which of the following commission's report is titled as Education and National Development Report? Friends, here the options are option A Radhakrishnan Commission, option B Kothari Commission, option C Mudaliar Commission, option D none of the above. Friends, here the right answer for this question is Kothari Commission is known as the Education and National Development Report. I hope you knew this. Now we move to the some more information related to Kothari Commission. Friends, National Education Commission is also known as the Kothari Commission, and Kothari Commission was founded on 14th July 1964 in India. The founder is Government of India, and the headquarters of Kothari Commission is located in New Delhi. And the main purpose of Kothari Commission is examine all aspects of the educational sectors in India, and to evaluate a general pattern of education, and also to advise guidelines and policies for the development of education in India. I hope you got this. Please remember all these points. The next question is, select the correct sequence in ascending order. Option A Deputy Minister, Minister of State and Cabinet Ministers. Option B Ministers of State, Deputy Ministers and Cabinet Ministers. Option C Ministers of State, Cabinet Ministers and Deputy Ministers. Option D Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State and Deputy Ministers. Friends, the right answer is option A Deputy Ministers, Ministers of State and Cabinet Ministers. Match the following list. One is showing a different layers of the atmosphere. Option A troposphere, option B stratosphere, option C ionosphere, option D exosphere. And list 2. Option 1 dust particles, option 2 ozone layer, option 3 meteors, option 4 aurora. Friends, here the right answer is option A troposphere. We see dust particles. In stratosphere we found ozone layer, and ionosphere we see meteors, and exosphere is known as the aurora. Please remember this. Friends, this picture is showing us different layers of the atmosphere. First and the very lowest layer of the atmosphere is troposphere, and troposphere extends up to 18 km at equator and 8 km at poles during the winter, and the temperature decreases with height. Please remember this point. In the next examination it may arise. And in troposphere we found cloud, dust particles and mountain. Friends, the second layer of the atmosphere is stratosphere. Stratosphere, it is the upper boundary of the troposphere. It is about 50 kilometers above the earth's surface, and in stratosphere we found ozone layer and also aeroplanes lie in the stratosphere. The next layer is mesosphere. Mesosphere extends up to 80 kilometers above the surface of the earth, and in mesosphere radio waves will be found. And the next layer is ionosphere. Friends, ionosphere, here the temperature is above the 1000 degrees Celsius, and temperature increases with height. And the last layer of the atmosphere is exosphere. Exosphere is known as the aurora. In exosphere we found hydrogen, helium, CO2 and oxygen. Friends, I hope you got this, and please remember all these points. The next one is the most dynamic layer of the atmosphere in terms of climate and weather condition is option A troposphere, option B ionosphere, option C stratosphere, option D mesosphere. I hope you got the answer, because in the previous slide only I explained this. Friends, here the right answer is option A troposphere. Troposphere is the lowest layer of the atmosphere. It extends up to 18 km at equator and 8 km at poles during the winter. Here all weather developments will occur, so it is known as the troposphere is a dynamic layer of the atmosphere. The next question is the approach which is based on the assumption that social phenomena can be explained by observing cause and effect. Here is option A positivism, option B interpretivism, option C qualitative, and option D none of the above. Friends, I hope you know this answer. Here the answer is option A, that is positivism. I hope you got the answer. We will see some information about the positivism. Positivism is a philosophical theory, and it states that knowledge is based on natural phenomena and their properties and their relations. And positivism holds that society operates according to some general laws. Positivism holds that valid knowledge or truth is found only in the posteriori knowledge. Overall, positivism is related to that society operates according to the general laws. So the next question is touch is an important element in option A business communication, option B interpersonal communication, option C intrapersonal communication, option D none of the above. Friends, touch is an important element in which type of communication? Yeah, right, in interpersonal communication. Option B interpersonal communication is right answer. Friends, I hope you got all the questions. These are some important questions related to communication. Please go through these questions once again, and if you have any doubts, please put in the comment box. The next question is which is a nodal agency for granting equivalence to degrees awarded by foreign universities? Option A UGC, which stands for University Grant Commission, and option B Niti Aayog, which was formed on 1st January 2015 and its headquarters is in New Delhi, and ICSSR, which is started by Government of India in the year of 1969, and ICSSR stands for Indian Council of Social Science Research. And option D is AIU, Association of Indian Universities. Friends, which is the right answer is nodal agency for granting equivalence to degrees awarded by foreign universities. Here the right answer is option D, Association of Indian Universities. AIU founded in 1925, and the headquarters of all Association of Indian Universities is in New Delhi, and it is formed as Inter University Board in the year of 1925. 25. The president of AIU is Dr. M. Salunke, and Association of Indian Universities is affiliated to Lovely Professional University. I hope you got the answer, and please remember these points about AIU. In the next examination, the question may arise from headquarter or president or from affiliation. Question number 12. Project Tiger was launched in the year of option A 1983, option B 1993, option C 1973, option D 2000. Friends, here the right answer for this question is on option C, that is 1973. Friends, let us know some more points about Project Tiger. It is a tiger conservation program and it is launched in April 1973 by the government of India. And when Project Tiger program was announced, it was the tenure of Indira Gandhi. Then please remember this point. Kailash Sankal was first director of Project Tiger. In the upcoming examination, this question may be asked. Who was the first director of Project Tiger? Kailash Sankal. I hope you got this answer. Right answer is option D, Tamil Nadu. It is the first virtual university of India. Okay. So the next question is Kyoto Protocol is related to option A ozone depletion, option B hazardous waste, option C climate change, option D nuclear change. Friends, I think you know this answer. Kyoto Protocol is related to climate change. Option C. Kyoto Protocol, it is an international treaty. It is the extension of CNFCC. CNFCC stands for United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and the main aim of Kyoto Protocol is it suggested parties to reduce greenhouse gases emissions. It is adopted on 11th December 1997 and Kyoto Protocol entered into force on 16th February 2005. Currently there are 192 parties in Kyoto Protocol. Question number 11. Dash is a process of searching bugs in a software. Friends, bugs means errors, and here the options are option A compiling, option B testing, option C execution, and option D debugging. Friends, here the right answer is debugging. Debugging is the process of searching mistakes in a software or errors in a computer. Illi sariyada uttara. The next question, Vidya Lakshmi is a web portal launched by the government for the benefit of students seeking. Option A higher education, option B teacher education, option C educational loans, and option D scholarship. Friends, you have already known about this. I think Vidya Lakshmi is related to educational loans. So here the right answer is educational loans. Friends, please we will know some other points related to Vidya Lakshmi. Please remember these points or please write in your book. Vidya Lakshmi was launched on 15th August 2015. Vidya Lakshmi developed under the guidance of Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and Indian Banks Association. And Vidya Lakshmi is maintained by NSDL E-Governance Infrastructure Limited. Please note these points. Shale gas is basically entrapped in option A igneous rocks, option B sedimentary rocks, option C metamorphic rocks, option D none of the above. Friends, here the right answer is option B sedimentary rocks. Shale gas. Friends, shale gas is refers to natural gas that is trapped within the shale formation. Shales are fine-grained sedimentary rocks that can be rich sources of petroleum and natural gas, and shale gas is trapped within the pores of the sedimentary rock. I hope you got the answer. Now we'll move to the next question. Friends, thank you very much. Thank you for watching our video. If you find this video useful to you, please share to your friends and please comment the suggestions in the comment box and subscribe to our Global Online Education channel, and for more information please visit our website. Thank you.